Paul, we've had 2 down days now after the announcement that these tariffs will be signed next week. This was one of the major event risks for the Trump presidency. Is that now being priced in? Will it be done once it's priced in?
Yes, we've been saying for some time since the inauguration that we thought trade protection was a risk. What we've seen, though, since then is that the Trump administration has talked tough but negotiated hard on NAFTA. I think it would be a mistake to jump to conclusions of trade wars a la 1960s and 70s. Here in this case, the rest of the world has a very strong interest in maintaining trade ties, not just with the U.S., but with everyone else. A trade war would work to everyone's disadvantage here. So let's not jump to conclusions.
Well, we've had responses already from the EU, from Canada, from China. Are you saying that they won't retaliate in kind?
I'm saying that these are possibly negotiating ploys. I'm not dismissing the risk, but we would be jumping to conclusions too fast to sell here. And let's also note that it's not unusual in a correction like we've seen to have a retracement after some up days to retest one of the lows. This is also possibly what's going on here. And finally, I would note that base metals prices did very, very well last year. We could be seeing some profit taking as well as fears of a global trade war going on here. Let's not overreact.
Paul, is it time to reassess where we think inflation is heading? What's going to happen to the U.S. trade deficit if we start to see a tit-for-tat spat between the U.S. and China?
Yes, you're absolutely right that is the risk. It's not our base case, but it would be a risk that a trade war with retaliation would end up increasing the U.S. trade deficit. It would be inflationary, and all of us on the street would have to take another look at our inflation numbers. But our outlook for inflation is really very moderate. We see some improvement, increase in inflation to more typical, historically average levels from very subdued levels last year. That's quite normal in an economy that's in its second half of expansion. So again, let's not overreact on the inflation front either.